Hello everybody, welcome to edition number 2 of Red Bull X-FIGHTERS here at Osaka Joe. I know for all of us, last year was a really amazing year and a fantastic competition, and I think this year is going to prove to be something even bigger and even more enjoyable for the Japanese fans.
まず皆さんこんにちは。昨年に続いて、2回目の、レッドブル X ファイターズ大阪の戦いとなります。去年の戦いそのものはすごく素晴らしい結果として終わったのですけれども、今年はさらにものすごいことになると私は信じております。
Unfortunately, I caught a bit of a Japanese cold yesterday, so I don't have much of a voice, which is good because I can let these other guys talk. Next to me, I have Tom Pages. In the middle, Taka Higashino. On the far end is Levi Sherwood.
ちょっと日本に来て風邪をひいてしまったので、ちょっとあんまり喋ることができないんですけども、その分隣にいるトム・パジェス、東野孝之選手、そして、リーバイ・シャーウッド選手に喋ってもらおうと思います。
And before we get started with talking to the guys, I just want to give a huge thanks and appreciation to the Red Bull Japan team and the agencies who made this happen in year 1, but again have given us the chance to come back here for a second year. And this is a special event for us because it was a dream of everybody's friend Ego Sato. And although Ego's not here in person, we know he's here in spirit. And I think last year we fulfilled his dream, and this year we took that dream a whole step further.
まず、レッドブルジャパンをはじめて関係者の皆様に感謝の意を述べたいと思います。そして、皆様のおかげで2度目に戻ってこれたと思うんですことになったんですけれども、やはり佐藤英吾選手の大きな貢献があったから、まず最初にできたのと、あとこの2回目にできたと考えております。で佐藤選手はもうこの世にはいないんですけれども、必ず我々を見守っていることと私は信じています。
So here I'm going to ask the guys a question. We'll translate the question into Japanese, and then the riders will answer.
じゃあまず私がライダーたちに質問を聞いて、で私が通訳して、でそのように進めます。
So we're going to start with the guy to my left. This is Tom Pages, and Tom. I think you can clap. The first question I have for you is, can you explain what it means to be riding here again in Osaka?
まず最初の質問なんですけれども、パジェス選手に、また今年も再度に大阪に来れたことはどういう意味合いを持ちますか？
Being here in Osaka is for sure a really great moment, because for sure we all think of Ego Sato. We know how hard he's been working to bring X-FIGHTERS here, and last year was really awesome, really perfect organization from Red Bull Japan. So I have a lot to expect this year from them again, and a lot to expect from the public, and I really like Japan, so I'm happy to be here.
まずすごく気持ちが良いです。でやはり佐藤英吾選手のおかげで昨年実現できて、今年もまた実現できてるんですけれども、昨年の大会はとにかく完璧な運営、あとは大会の進行、あとは観客の皆様がすごく良かったです。で今年もそれに上回ることを期待しています。
So you spent some time riding here in Japan, and you've ridden with a lot of the guys that are competing here in Osaka today and tomorrow. Can you tell us what you think now and how the Japanese riders have progressed in their riding?
次の質問は、パティス選手自身は日本人のライダーとの交流がいろいろあって、で多くのライダーと一緒に乗ってきたと思うんですけれども、日本のFMX のシーンをどう見ていますか？
Yeah, last year I've been spending some time in Japan and did a show riding with the Japanese guy, and they're all really good. There's the FMX scene here is getting really big, even probably bigger than in France, you know. And I had gone to Suzuki pretty much a month before this event, and he was practicing, and I know how hard he wants to be on the top, and he was like trying to learn new tricks to bring them to Japan, like the flair and stuff like this, to bring the technique to help people. So I'm really happy to be here in Japan, and it will help them to progress, you know. And we have Taka for sure that he's progressing a little bit.
まず日本の FMX シーンはとにかくレベルが高く、クオリティも高くで、おそらく私の国フランスよりも規模が大きいのじゃないかなと思っております。で、特に、ライダーの中では鈴木浩太選手がとにかく、最近は練習を重ねてきて、で新しいトリックも学ぶために必死に練習していると思います。で、私自身も、新しい技を練習してきて持ってきているので期待してほしいです。あと隣にいる東野選手も新しい技を出してくれることを期待しています。
And I just got to ask you, in the last couple of years, you brought a lot of progression, a lot of new moves to the sport of freestyle motocross. How do you feel now when you see the other guys starting to change up things a little bit and attempt the tricks that you've been bringing over the last 2 years?
パジェス選手自身もさまざまな新しいトリックを編み出したり新しい要素を FMX に持ってきていると思うんですけれども、それに負けず他の選手たちもどんどん進化しているところを見てそこはどう思いますか？
I think that's the good part of FMX, that we all watching each other, we all learning from each other, and me, the way I ride is I prefer like my friend style, my friend tricks, but I can't do it, so I try different tricks, and seeing them, trying them, it's good, but it scares me because I always have to progress, keep going, and I'm getting tired sometimes because they're so good, so I need to keep trying new tricks every time.
新しい技を出してそれに伴い他のみんなも新しく進化していくのはすごく自分としては良い傾向だと思います。ただその分プレッシャーも高くて、どんどん新しいことをしなきゃいけない分たまに怖い時もあるんですけれども他の選手もすぐ追いついてくるので、常に進化していかなきゃいけないっていうところが、やりがいがあるけれどもプレッシャーでもあります。
So the guy sitting next to Tom in the middle here, Taka Higashino, these two had an amazing battle in the finals here in Osaka last year. Unfortunately, Taka had a little bit of trouble on a landing yesterday and hurt his foot, which is why he's using this handlebar as a crutch today. But we were talking, he's decided to rest up today and not take part in the qualification, so that he can better prepare himself to come out and ride tomorrow.
昨日東野選手が、練習中にちょっとランディングで足を痛めてしまってでそれが理由でそのハンドルバーを松葉杖として使っているんですけれども、今日は、大事を取って、予選には参加せず明日に備えて、準備する予定です。
So Taka, I mean, the most obvious question I have to ask you is, again, describe the feeling last year winning Red Bull X-FIGHTERS in your hometown.
まず東野選手に、昨年初めて地元のファンの前で、ライディングをしたのはどういう気分でしょうか？
まあとんでもなく夢のような世界で地元大阪でこれだけの規模でこのイベントができることがもうどれだけ佐藤英吾さんをはじめこの X ファイターズの主催側がみんなが頑張ってくれたことだと思うんで僕はもうありがたく楽しんで一日一日をエンジョイしながらこのショーを挑んでました。
Last year, it was a huge moment for him to perform in front of his hometown crowd and also at such a large scale venue as we see here at Osaka Castle. And also he was very thankful for Eigo and the X-FIGHTERS organization for all the organization that they did to make the event possible. And he had fun every day, day to day last season, and he's also having fun again this year.
So obviously, last year you were doing the rock solid backflip was such a huge trick that nobody else could really compete with. But I know you feel the pressure now coming into this season, so have you been trying anything new in the off season?
まず昨年ロックソリッドバックフリップという唯一東野選手しかできない大技を出してきて優勝を決めましたけれども、それが逆にプレッシャーになっていませんか？今年は何か新しい技を持ってきていますか？
今年はこの大阪大会でもう去年もトーマスと接戦でなんとかもう地元で勝てたってことで嬉しくて、今年はもう一度なんですかね、自分に対して新しい次の自分の壁を越えたいなと思って皆さんに見せれるように必死で練習してきた技があったんですけど、昨日の練習の段階ではもうそれもいつも出せてて、もうあとは見せるだけっていうところでちょっと足をくじいてしまったんで、ちょっと僕としては残念ですが、明日ちょっと見せれるように頑張っていきたいです。
So there was a huge battle at the very end between Tom and Taka, and he really wants to challenge himself to be able to do that sort of battle again. And he practiced a new trick, and he was going to, he successfully did it yesterday and was going to bring it today and tomorrow, but because of the landing yesterday, he's thinking about it, but he definitely wants to show the crowd his new trick.
And just speaking about the crowd here in Osaka last year, I think the international side, we were all really surprised at how crazy the crowd was. It's not something we expected from the Japanese. Were you surprised last year at how crazy this place was?
去年の、大阪の観客の皆様がもうクレイジーなぐらいワイルドなすごく歓声を上げて応援してたんですけれども、地元の皆さんがそのように熱狂的に応援するのを見て、驚きましたか？
はい、もうすごい驚いてました。僕も佐藤英吾さんもやっぱり海外人も皆さんもやっぱり日本でするとなって、やっぱり日本の文化的にやっぱり危ないことを見せるのにあたってみんながちゃんと騒いでくれるか、ちゃんと楽しんでくれるかっていうのをちょっと不安な部分で考えてたんですけど、もうショーが始まり次第もう観客も満員で、もうみんなすごい技をするたびにもうみんなが立ち上がっていろんなもう何ですか、もうノイズを作ってくれるんで、もう僕らは気持ちよく飛べて、多分他海外でももう1番か2番に当たる歓声だったと思います。もう僕としてはもう嬉しくてしょうがなかったです。
So he was very happy, not only him but also I'm sure Eigo was also happy to have seen that, and also all of the visitors from overseas. When you think about Japanese culture, you wouldn't expect such wildness in the crowd, but it was, every time he performed a trick or anyone performed a trick, the crowd would go wild, stand on their feet, and go crazy. So he was really happy, and he thinks the Japanese crowd that he saw last year was probably the most, or number one or number two, the wildest crowd in Redbull X-FIGHTERS.
I would agree. So Levi, back here again in Osaka, and you've been taking in a little bit of the Japanese culture, and we saw yesterday you were actually riding this custom motorcycle. Tell us a little bit about that.
昨日リーバイ選手また日本に来て、日本の文化に再度触れてると思いますけれども、昨日の時点で何かちょっとカスタム化されたオートバイをいじってたのを見てたんですけど、それは何だったんでしょう？
Yeah, this time it was pretty cool. We got to do something that I was interested in and check out the custom bike, and it was a nice little change of pace during riding. So really grateful to have Kengo bring his bikes here and check them out and obviously take them for a spin.
ちょっと日本に来るまでいろいろ練習してて忙しかったんですけども、ちょっとこっちに来てちょっとチェンジオブペースというか、ちょっと違うことも見てみたいなと、違うバイクをちょっといじってみたいなというところでそのバイクを見てました。
So you coming to Osaka, round number 2, you're leading in the tour, so obviously you have the target on your back. has that caused you to go back home and train and do anything different to prepare for this round?
大阪に来るまでにそのメキシコ戦で優勝して勢いづいていると思うんですけれども、逆にそれが、プレッシャーになって、地元のトラックで猛練習に励んだとかそういうことはありますか？
Yeah, obviously Mexico went really well for me, but honestly nothing's changed. I went home, carried on riding. Obviously I feel like I'm riding good, but I just want to go out there and ride my best. Whatever happens from here on out. So yeah, hopefully we put on a good show and everyone enjoys it.
特に変わったことはしてないんですけれども、地元でもリラックスしながら練習して調子もすごくよく、レースに備えられていると思うので、明日はとにかく気持ちよく走りたい、今日明日気持ちよく走りたいと思っています。
And you guys, you all make this look very easy, but can you tell us a little bit about how hard it really is to travel to all these different places in the world, to be somewhere for only a short space of time, deal with jet lags, different bikes, different courses. How do you get over that and how do you prepare for it?
皆さん見てるとまるで簡単なようにやっているふうには見えるんですけれども、もちろんものすごいことをやってるんですけれども、どのように、いろんなツアーストップに行っていろんな環境になれる、時差ボケになれる、あとは、新しい街文化に触れてそういうさまざまな変化になる中どうやって対応しているんでしょうか？
Yeah, that's a tough one. It's definitely a challenge. I think the one thing that has helped me, and I'm sure the other riders with it over the years, is just experience. You learn what works and what doesn't, and yes, it's obviously really challenging. Different places have different challenges. We're lucky here in Japan. Coming from New Zealand, it's not far different time zone, and I love being here, so it makes it really easy.
もちろんいろんなところに行っていろんな環境に対応するのはすごくチャレンジングなことなんですけれども、やはり経験を積んでいくうちに何が良くて何が良くないかっていうのが分かってくるので、それで対応できるようになると思います。で、今回の大阪戦ではニュージーランドとの時差がそんなにないので、対応がまだ簡単にできていると思います。で、日本に来ること自体がものすごく好きなので、エンジョイしています。